Mistakes. Mistakes have been made. Many mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I've made many.
Mm-hmm.
I continue to make them.
Mm-hmm.
Mistakes in the gym.
Yeah.
I probably still make them quite a bit, even with the hours of YouTube and books that I've purchased and attempted to read, but I'm too stupid to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of mistakes, and I tend to see them constantly. So, I was thinking about stuff that we did early on that was kind of stupid. Thinking, I don't know, do you have anything to share? Early on mistakes that you made, or I guess even just mistakes that you see new guys coming to the gym and making currently?
It's tough because that's like there's such a wealth of things that I could say, but I know off the rip, I think the biggest mistake that you make is listening to other people and not taking what they say and applying it to you. I think you listen to the pros, the guys that look big, that are using gear, the guys that can lift 500 pounds on a bench, and then you're trying to emulate what they do and the way that they feel something, and you're trying to apply it to you right off the rip, rather than if someone just told me right off the rip, take what you hear and apply it to you so that you feel it, so that you know you're getting something out of this. Don't just do something because someone gave you an exercise set list. That does not mean it's going to work for you.
Yeah. It's like the genetic freaks, too.
Yeah.
Right? Like watching Ronnie and looking up to Ronnie. I mean, as we should, but you look at Ronnie pre-steroids, you look at him in his 20s, and, I mean, I could never aspire to look like that.
No.
Or be that strong.
No.
So to take Ronnie's advice, which, God bless him, even if you hear him talk nowadays, he just did what he was being told to do by professionals.
Mm-hmm.
He was a genetic freak. So you get guys like that who, they're professionals, largely because selection bias, like, they figured out early on, oh, I get jacked real easy, or I'm crazy strong, and I'm only 14.
And he's just a workhorse as it is. He puts in the work, so even if he didn't have the perfect form right off the rip, he's going to put in the effort. He can hoist the weight. He's got the joints. He's got the ability to use gear and not have bad side effects from it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean everybody can do that.
No.
If you have bad blood work when you're 21 years old and you keep pushing through because you saw the Trend twins or whoever else and your lipid levels are going crazy, and now you put yourself on a cardiac risk at 23, but you saw Ronnie talking about this stack or whatever that he used, it's just...
Well, not only that, too, I'm thinking, you say at 23, and guys are using stuff younger and younger. I mean, we had guys in high school that had found their way into D-ball tablets and football and wrestling and stuff. And, I don't know, all of the studies now show that you don't actually stop growing even until your mid-20s. So just think, if you had the opportunity to grow to 6'4", but you started farting around with gear, in your late teens, early 20s, you may have stunted your own growth. You may have fused your growth plates early on, and now you're 6 foot when you could have been 6'4".
Yeah.
Nobody's crying about being 6 foot, but I don't know too many people that were like, man, I sure wish I was shorter. I mean, maybe, if you're 7 foot plus, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, so stunting your growth, screwing up your hormones, lifelong hormones.
Injuring yourself early on because I don't know. I'm in my 30s now. You're in your 30s. When's the last time someone's asked you what you bench?
At the gym, no.
At the gym. That's what I mean. It's like if you hit a goal, if you hit a personal goal, a personal best, and you share it, great. Other than that, I can't tell you the last time anyone's asked me that. I can't tell you the last time I've asked anybody else that.
No.
We don't care. But when you're 17, 18, 19, 20, you're trying to impress. You're trying to hit numbers. You want to talk about it all the time. And so you'll put an extra plate and just have someone just wreck your shoulders because, I mean, the YMCA days, dropping 3 plates on your shoulders and have someone hoist it off you, and then you start having shoulder tears, micro traumas.
I don't know anything about any of that.
Yeah, I'm sitting here babying this one right now, and this one's still... Any kind of chest movement that I have, any kind of shoulder rotation, it's not the same because of probably dodgeball, too.
I think about that a lot. I miss dodgeball, but I think I threw my arm out every week when I played dodgeball.
Yeah.
It was a good time, though.
Then you go see Eddie Noble. Eddie Noble would fix it, and then I'd go play a week later, and now I have this shoulder that feels like it's bound up, and none of my lifts are the same. But
did you ever end up finding any BPC to try?
I don't know why I let my friend try it, and she didn't end up liking it. But I don't remember if she gave it back to me, and I just didn't want to reuse something that had been squirted up someone's nose, and then felt weird about that.
Yeah. Well, I noticed the TRT clinic that I use now offers it. So there was like a, I don't know, FDA thing. They stepped in at one point, and it couldn't be prescribed anymore. Now you can get it legitimately from not just compounding pharmacies, but doctors can prescribe it, or they can, I don't know how it works. You can go to TRT clinic, and as long as you have some sort of prescription, they can offer you peptides and that sort of stuff. So I've thought about it again, because knees, shoulders, and lately my wrists.
Yeah. Forearms. Do you get the forearm imbalances where your rotations are starting to bug you, or any kind of like upright
any
rows?
Shoulder stuff that I do. Any shoulder, any tricep stuff that I do.
Yep.
So I tend to, Coop and I just found like a month ago an attachment at the gym that, there's 70 bars at the gym that you can put on the lat pole and push down.
Yeah.
And they're fun. It's fun to experiment with all of those. But for push downs, I hate the ropes. I get almost nothing out of the ropes. I can't get any kind of a flare on the rope, and I feel like there's no, I don't know, you get a good stretch at the top, but coming down I just feel like I don't get any real range of motion. So I started going flat bar and just using like a lat bar, and that would hurt my wrists. So they have this attachment now that looks like a W, so your hands are at like a 45 degree angle, and
like a V-bar but flares back up.
Yep. So it's not as extreme as that little V, because I want to say that's more like a,
so it's just like a cambered bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it just flares out, and just enough that my wrists don't hurt. And I was doing, with the straight bar, push downs, 60, 70 pounds on a push down, and now I can do 110, 120, like good clean reps, sets of 10 generally, and my elbows feel awesome, my wrists feel awesome.
Yeah.
I think just playing around with, different bars and different attachments and finding what works for you is pretty important, especially when you have those little ailments that are creeping up on you.
I see stuff that I want to try all the time, and I'm not a TikTok subscriber. Like, if I see a TikTok workout, I'm usually suspicious of it right off the rip.
Yeah.
But if something looks like, okay, I might feel that good, I'll try it out. And then you try it out, immediately, I don't feel anything, I'm just going to scrap it. I'm not going to keep, well, I saw this on TikTok by a big guy that's doing it for views, and then just keep doing the thing, even though my body's like, we don't feel this. You don't feel any activation, you're not getting any. So just because you see somebody do it, especially in this view-heavy culture, just because somebody showed you how to do something and they look jacked, doesn't mean they actually do it.
No.
It just is trying to, this is a revolutionary new exercise that I'm going to show you how to do that only I can show you. That doesn't mean anyone ever does it.
The morning routines, have you seen those?
Yes.
These guys that are obviously jacked, they obviously...
and they don't do that.
No.
None of them do that. There's no way.
3-hour long morning routines where they're dipping their face in ice buckets and cucumber water and snorting lines of creatine powder.
Pre-run, swim 10 laps. Like, you don't do that for 4 hours every morning. You don't. I don't believe you. You can tell me that maybe you did it one time, you had a really good day about it, but if you say that you do that every morning, you're lying.
Yeah.
There's no way you do that every morning. I just don't believe you.
About the only person I would believe is, have you ever watched any of the stuff that Brian Johnson, not Liver King?
That's the only one that I know.
The Brian Johnson that is trying to reverse age, basically, or he wants to never die. Like, that's his goal.
Jamie, can we pull that up? Brian Johnson?
Yeah.
Can I look that up?
Yeah, oh yeah. He's obviously incredibly wealthy because his routines are like multi-million-dollar routines.
Is he in the 60s?
I don't think so. I don't think he's quite that old.
So it's not the Brian Johnson from AC/DC, I'm guessing.
There's way too many Brian Johnsons.
Oh, he's 47?
He's 47. He looks like a newborn baby.
Yeah.
He's found all of these ways to, I don't know, biohack and then try to reverse age.
I don't like his face at all. That's like Uncanny Valley.
Makes me think he's not been outside before.
This is the best I can do. Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
Like his eyes are going to be a little bit offset from behind the plastic that's on his face. I don't like it.
So if he posted a video showing a morning routine, and maybe he has, I don't know, I'm not seeing much of his content, but he's got like teams that post things for him at this point. But I would believe just about anything that he probably does. He's probably sleeping in chambers, hanging upside down, blue light blocking glasses on with different IVs dripping into him at any given time.
Yeah, and for me, it's like I believe that they do things like that. Like if someone uses a hyperbaric chamber, I believe that people do that stuff, but I don't believe you take like 3 hours out of every morning to do an array of stupid, weird, obscure things, and you block out that much of your time every single morning. I just don't believe anybody does that.
No. I've seen some power lifters and some strongmen and some bodybuilders talk about, like, before they won XYZ. So Eddie Hall talked recently about before he broke the deadlift world record. For the year leading up to it, his routine was unbelievable and unsustainable. It was like he'd sleep for 8 or 9 hours, he'd get up, he'd eat, he'd go back to bed for 2 hours. He'd get up, he'd do some sort of training, he'd go back to bed for 2 or 3 hours. So he was ultimately sleeping for like 12 hours a day.
Right. And
he was eating like 10,000 calories a day.
Right.
Like that kind of stuff is the most extreme. And that's a world record breaker, and world's strongest man competitor who had to do these extreme things to get to that next level. So all of that to show that it's not sustainable. Obviously, after that year of doing that and torturing himself, like he doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore.
For the year, right? Because he's in that training time period, and I mean, like even Ronnie, you hear Ronnie talk about, he'd be on for 9 months, and then after the Olympia,
take 3 months off.
And they said, so you're doing cardio and just light cardio? So he's like, no, I do nothing. Just walking around and
just never
cheesecake
muscle.
No, he's just always huge. But like, there's no way. It's just like anyone that diets. You do a crash hard diet. You can do it for a few months before you go on vacation.
Yeah.
But you're tired of being hungry, so you're gonna default and start eating food again at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, you just can't sustain a 4-hour routine every morning. You can't sustain stuff that just for a limited period. If you tell me that you do, I don't believe you.
No, I agree. So you said cheesecake, and that made me think too. I've seen Eddie Hall's shopping lists before, and him talking about his world's strongest man prep. He was eating 7 full family cheesecakes a week. As part of his breakfast, he would get all his protein, and he'd eat half a cheesecake, and then later in the evening he would eat the other half of the cheesecake.
God.
I mean, you think about it, when you have 10,000 calories to play with in a day, like, why not eat a cheesecake? Why not eat an entire cheesecake? It's like I have these oatmeal cream pies sitting over here right now because I'm trying to, keep up just over.
I tried to keep them out of the view of the camera on purpose, and now you are talking about them.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I mean, they're right in my line of view. I love an oatmeal cream pie. Thanks.
Yep.
Yes.
Out of sight.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, gosh. All right, so I want to go back to mistakes in the gym early on. So we kind of hit on not listening to every jacked dude and what they have to say.
Copying everybody's routine.
Yeah. Yep.
You should listen to people, obviously, but you should first and foremost, I think, realize that there are things that are going to work. There's a lot of things that are going to work, and you're going to try to apply them to yourself and listen to your body first and foremost. With any exercise, with any program, if you're trying something and you don't get benefits from it, and you've tried it to the exact way that the other people are doing it, and you don't feel this exercise, if you don't see results from doing this or that, this diet, eating these kind of foods, if you're not seeing the same results following someone else's specific parameters to a T, you need to alter it to make it about you, and not just keep blindly doing it because, well, Ronnie did it.
I think that goes back to the sustainability piece too, right? Because, like, just talk keto, like keto or paleo or whatever it is. Like, every diet that asks you to eat less is probably going to help you lose weight if you're eating less than what you need, right? Like, just law of
being in a deficit.
Thermodynamics. Yep, eating a deficit. So if it's keto, cool. If you hate keto, don't do keto. That's not sustainable. It's miserable. Or, like, if you're going to go carnivore. I love meat. We love meat.
Yep.
That's, we grew up eating steaks and burgers. Yes. I love dead animal meat. Can I just...
It's getting weirder.
Processed meat. I don't know.
Flesh.
But I've tried carnivore for like a week, and it was miserable. I mean,
just from the fat, the sheer amounts of fats.
Just felt like I already have problems with my skin. I have greasy skin, so I have to scrub my face 2-3 times a day. I have 2 different prescription medications that ointments and stuff that I use, and I just felt like I had grease seeping from my pores, and most of it was like chicken thighs, right? Because chicken breast is fine, but you can only eat so much chicken breast in a week. And if you just get a little bit extra fat content, like from a chicken thigh, or if you get, like turkey meat or leaner ground beef, that little extra fat content just makes it so much more palatable. But by the end of the week, I don't think I could go to the bathroom, and I've had digestive issues forever too. So not being able to go to the bathroom, having only eaten meat and felt like my skin was greasy, is just not doable. It's not manageable for me.
Were you doing closer to like carnivore, or was it closer to even like Atkins, like a cleaner Atkins?
It was just meat. I was eating like beef sticks and chicken and steak and hamburger. And at the end of the week, I still had vegetables in the fridge, and I was like, you know what? I think I need fiber.
Yeah.
I think I need to go to the bathroom.
Push it through. Yeah.
And I was probably eating at about maintenance too. I don't think I actually had any real deficit. So that goes back to the fact that if you're doing the diet, but you're not in a deficit.
No. If you're 3,000 to maintain and you're eating 4,000 calories a day because it's keto, you're failing the assignment.
There's a whole world now of fat vegans. Have you seen any of this on social media?
No.
So it's obviously the anti-vegan crowd that bashes on the vegans, which I'm not going to bash on vegans if you have your reasons, whether it's health, whether it's your morality compass,
right.
Whatever.
Thoughtful vegans. I mean, I got vegan friends, and they're thoughtful. It's just a personal choice. It's what they want to do. But just like anything, if you're going around assaulting people for it.
Yeah. But now, so fat vegans, there's all of this, and you've probably seen the section at Walmart has just gone from one little refrigerator section to like half of an aisle now.
It's huge now.
There's like vegan pizza pockets and vegan cookies and vegan ice cream and vegan this and that. So basically, there's a whole market now of vegan, like super palatable, calorie-dense foods.
Yep.
So vegans, being used to the fact that, they don't eat as much, they don't eat as many calories, they're all excited that there's this vegan food, like, oh, hey, I can actually eat a cookie.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in it. There's no dairy in it. There's nothing in it. And then they start hammering these vegan cookies all week, and their vegan pizza pockets, and their vegan ice cream. And before you know it, they're gaining weight. But it's vegan. Well, now you're in a 1,000 calorie a day surplus because your vegan cookie puts you well over the limit.
And your vegan ancestors, when they were eating vegan foods out in the wild, they were eating legumes and plants. And you're taking a non-flesh-based, whatever they use that's been super processed to now emulate this plant thing. So it's a hyper-processed, bastardized version of the thing that your ancestors went and ate. And you're wondering why you're any different than the people that are out eating bread, processed soups, crap like that all day and just packing calories into their bodies. It's just not natural.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Gosh. All right, so we're talking about mistakes. I was thinking about party fouls at the gym or things that I've seen at the gym here as of late, but this put me back in our YMCA days. There was a big guy at the gym. I'm sure you'd know him. You probably know his name. I don't remember anybody's names from 15, 20 years ago.
Nick.
But he was Nick adjacent. He was a big meathead. Never had any definitive shape to him, but he would get there and throw weight around. But he was the guy that, and I don't remember if you were there this day or not. You may have been, but he was in there. He went into the lat pull machine to do push downs. We had that specific lat pull machine. We had all the cable machines, they had push down machines, but he would go to the lat pull machine because it had a bigger stack.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd go over there, he would start doing push downs. Well, he brought a extra 10-pound plate over to the push down. Actually, brought 2 over, and he started to hang them on the pin, and they wouldn't fit. So he took them, he put them on the lat bar handles, and then
Buddy, no.
Because the whole stack plus 20 pounds, right?
Yeah. And that's usually something that I feel like if you're that strong, you would be smarter than to know that. You know what I mean?
You would hope.
I don't know.
But just imagine the younger guys at the gym. You know, I was impressionable at one time. Luckily, I wouldn't have listened to this guy, but that guy would go around and give unsolicited advice to people in the gym.
Who was it? I need to know who it was. I can't picture anybody doing that.
I couldn't even begin to tell you.
That's a lie. I can picture people doing that. There was the one guy in the mornings that always had his own. He had the mullet, gray hair. He talk like this. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking.
Absolutely.
We're not going to say any names, but
Absolutely.
I already know about that. He'd tell you. And he liked to do his. So we had the abductor machines.
Yep.
We had those machines dedicated if you want to do inner thighs all day. If you can't see what I'm doing, I'm chicken legging. But he would flip upside down, put his legs up on the pec fly, and do it like this. And I'm like, buddy.
On the fly?
On the fly. You know exactly what I'm talking about too, right?
Yes. Oh, I do.
White towel tucked in.
Yep.
In the morning. He'd do it in
skinny
the morning.
guy. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Headband.
The mullet sells it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you talk like this. Yeah, the mustache. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
But
yeah.
And I was like, and I keep wanting to say his name, but I'm not going to say his name.
No, that's...
It's like, that machine does that. It's like, no, this is them. Like,
He saw it on a... Well, there wasn't TikTok back then. I'm sure he would master TikTok, though.
but he was doing it for decades, and he's telling people about it. That's the thing that gets me is like, you told people this is the thing to do. Anytime somebody has a good question, and then someone dispels the logic from their brains and convinces them that this stupid thing that I did is the right way to do it. Oh, God.
Trying to think, do you have any other recent mistakes that you've seen people make?
Let me ponder this.
Or even just stupid stuff you see people do at the gym. And I will say, in my, teens and 20s, I probably would have been more judgmental of what people were doing. And I realize now that even if I look at the movement and I don't think it's ideal for something, maybe I don't know why they're doing it. Maybe they're doing it at a certain angle. Maybe they're only going to a certain range of motion because they have shoulder pain, knee pain, hip pain.
Yep.
Maybe they can't do more than that. Maybe that's the movement their doctor said, hey, go do this with a 5-pound weight.
A really obscure little range of motion that looks like nothing to you, but it actually is benefiting them. Right.
Yep. So I try not to judge. I try not to look at people's routines and judge. But then I also see the guys that, this past weekend there were guys with, 80 and 90-pound dumbbells who obviously didn't do these movements, but they were grabbing them off the floor and doing, like single arm shoulder presses with them. Kind of like, strongman competition type stuff.
Yep.
And I don't think they ever actually effectively, or they didn't actually perfect the movement. They were just kind of throwing them up and jerking their whole body around, trying to get their body under it and get it up in the air, and then they'd throw it down on the floor. And they're those plated dumbbells.
Yep.
So you hear them all rattle and the bolts rattle.
Because they're loose. Yeah.
And they're just throwing them around. And then, they bumped into me 3-4 times while I'm working out too. So at the end of the day, I was doing 15-pound preacher curls with, a dumbbell. So I'm not, if I'm laying on the bench press, I've got, 225 on me and I'm, in the zone and I'm just trying to get my reps in and not get hurt and somebody bumped into me, I'd probably be pretty annoyed.
Yeah.
But I have a 15-pound dumbbell in my hand, and they said they were sorry, they were goofing around and stuff. But
they said that, you know what I mean? It's just part of, you bumped into somebody and just say you're sorry.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
No, it was cool. And even after a couple of times, I was like, it's cool. I'm actually just going to go use a machine on the other side of the gym. You guys have a good time.
I'm going to get away from you. My favorite now that I keep seeing is, it's just one of those, if you don't know, you don't know, but people doing reverse flies, right?
Yeah.
What be it your delts, be it your back, you're moving to about here. You're either targeting your delts or you're squeezing your back together more, but you're doing basically the same motion. Now, when you see somebody do this, oh, sorry. See somebody go back here, what are you doing? You're going past hyperextension of your shoulder. Now what are you doing? You're having to...
I don't know what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Getting some tricep engagement.
Getting all the way... Yeah, I can't even... But yeah, when you see the shoulder do one of these for each rep, I'm like, that is... Who told you to do that? Stop doing that right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to unsolicited advice here, but that's dangerous on your shoulder joints.
Yeah.
I don't know who told you that works out what. Nobody does it like that. Nobody should do it like that. But I see that. I'm not gonna lie, I go to PF once in a while. I go for like arms.
You go for the pizza party.
No, I haven't seen a pizza there for.
Probably.
I go there like
pre-COVID. They had pizzas. I don't know if they've done it since COVID.
Yeah, maybe not. I've gone just for like the tan still, so I get a little bit of color. But
you had to say it like that too.
For the color, I do it so I can keep my. I mean, look at us in the cameras right now.
Yeah.
Clearly, I have.
You got a little Trump vibe going. Just saying.
But yeah, that's maybe twice a month for arm day for something like that. But yeah, don't know. Not really chest day there, but sometimes just for a change of machinery and. But I see that a lot there. I see the worst mistakes there, and no one will tell them different because you got everybody in their own. You got some people that definitely know what they're doing, but PF is unfortunately always going to be riddled with a bunch of people that are not quite sure what they're doing.
I mean, that's kind of what they've invited people that aren't super serious. I mean, it's a welcoming environment, right? I get the whole Lunk alarm thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think it's welcoming? No? Well, I
don't feel welcome.
I think, yeah. It's supposed to be a welcoming environment for people who, maybe are just getting back into the gym. Or, if you just want to do cardio, because there's 80 treadmills at Planet Fitness.
Very cardio heavy.
Yep, they don't want you in there making noise and intimidating people. So I kind of get it. But it also, I don't like the stereotype that they kind of play into about, like, the lunks and stuff.
Lunks.
Because this is, so for a long time, I had a hard time setting foot in church and in a gym. And it was all for, like, just the insecurity around, I don't belong here.
Yep.
And once you get into, and I should say the right church, the right gym, but I'm going to say a little more broader about the gym even, because I've had pretty hit or miss with churches. But the gym, you go to the gym, odds are there's probably a jacked dude there.
Yep.
We have a dude at our gym, Cooper and I call him Jacked Guy. That's just what we call him. He's the jacked guy at the gym.
One jacked guy there.
Yeah, one. There's a couple really good shaped guys, but the one dude, he's super jacked.
He's jacked.
You walk in there and you see him lifting, you see him doing something, and you're emasculated. The general person's intimidated. You take one moment and go talk to him. He's the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. If you ask him a question, he'll jump up and help you. If you want him to spot you, he'll spot you.
Yep.
And I think you get sort of intimidated by the people that are already doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, Planet Fitness understands that insecurity. That's really what they capitalized on there.
Yeah.
But I don't love that stereotype, because the longer I spend in our gym, the more people I see there, the more, the jacked guy obviously inspires me, but he's 30 years into his lifting career. He's already that guy. I've got the people that I've watched over the last 2 years, like myself, losing weight, right? Like I lost, I was 319 at one point, got down to like 270, and now I'm just trying to work my way back up slowly, build some muscle, and then try not to get too fat, and then build some muscle, and then cut it off, try not to get too fat. And the people that I've watched in there that, maybe they're not doing the picture perfect workout that I think is picture perfect, but they're in there doing classes every freaking week. They've got a trainer, or they're doing jiu-jitsu, or they're taking boxing classes, but whatever they're doing, they're in there every week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever it is. I'm generally pretty inspired by those people, and I think there's more of those in most of the gyms that I've been to than the jacked guy.
Yep.
I know there's, big powerlifting gyms and Golds and all that, but yeah, you walk in there, most of the people are probably
They're all
jacked.
congregated there. Yeah.
But I think your average gym is full of people that are just like me, just average people that are just trying to do better.
Yeah.
Trying to make progress. And I don't think any of them are judging you when you walk in being out of shape. I think they're probably too busy worried about themselves, as we are trying to go in there, than they are looking at anybody else, right?
I think PF, on the contrary to that, it's the way that they foster the Lunk alarm. Just the whole, you're a lunk if you're a jacked guy. If you're a jacked guy in there and you're grunting a little bit, and the fact that they flip a switch, which that whole theory about it being decibel levels rigged into the walls that pick up on a slam that's too loud and it sets the Lunk alarm off. No, it's somebody with a switch.
At the counter.
It's a switch at the counter, and if you yell, if you go, ah, then they're going to flip it on you. And it's like, all right.
That's why sometimes there's a delay, too.
Right.
You'll watch one of the employees walk from the bathroom
hold on a second.
to the counter, like, woo, woo, oh.
Yeah. That's somebody that's just like, okay.
I'm a pretty quiet lifter generally.
Yeah.
And I'm not lifting super heavy most of the time, so I don't really need to do that.
I've heard your little in between the
But yeah, I think I had the alarm go off on me once in the 3 months that I was going there, and I don't think that wasn't why I stopped going there.
Yeah.
I stopped going because I was.
You need more weight. 75s don't cut it.
Is that all they go up to?
Dumbbells. Yeah. Okay. And then Smith machines, there's no free, and I get that because if you're trying to foster a bunch of people that, come in off the streets and keep them there, you don't want a bunch of stuff that's going to fall on them and have a bunch of liability issues. I get that. So it's good for what it's good for. But yeah, if you advance past it, I'd say go to a more meatheady gym, use some actual free weights, and then use PF for your tanning and your arm day and your leg day. But yeah, for the average person, PF. Yeah, I like PF.
Is it like $20 a month still?
I don't know.
I would assume it has to have gone up by now.
I don't ever know.
When I went, it was $20 a month. I signed up, I was all pumped, but I had to put my credit card on file.
Yeah.
And then I remember 6 months in or something like that, it might have been the end of the year, I don't know. At some point, they charged me like $120, and at that point, I did not have $120 to have surprise come out of my account.
Right.
And I called, and they're like, oh yeah, it's your annual fee. I'm like,
yeah.
what?
That's the biggest racket.
Fee.
Yeah.
What? Why is it $20 a month and then also another $120?
So what we did was we have to account for our low seasons.
Yeah.
So what we do is we just take 6 times more of your money that month.
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
Yeah.
All right.
I was looking at cars this week on Carvana, and you see the prices. I'm like, man, I wonder if interest rates have gotten lower because the monthly estimated prices look really low to me compared to the cost of the car. So it's like a $30,000 or $40,000 car, and they're like, yeah, it's only $500 a month. I'm like, okay, let me go look. No, it's like 11% interest rate. You just have to put $8,000 down.
Of course.
Because everybody that wants to buy a car can put $8,000 down on
No, they
car.
don't. No, they don't. I don't know who these people are that are the Musk family that are plopping $8,000 down, but the rest of us are like, well, I coughed up $1,800 from my taxes and I saved up a little bit. $8,000 on it now. That's.
I don't think I've ever put more than 2 down on a car.
No.
I've lucked out with equity in my cars for the most part, and been able to get good trade in and not have to make a big down payment.
Right.
Yeah, Carvana's out. I don't have almost $9,000 to put down on a down payment on a car.
No, that's insane. No, I don't know the people that do that. But how do we get to cars from mistakes at the gym?
That's a good question. You want to go back to mistakes at the gym?
No, I don't even know how we got there. I started zoning out, and I'm like, we just took this to cars, and I could very easily keep talking about cars, having sold cars for 7 years. So
You can talk about cars.
I don't need to. It's a different part of my life now.
That could be for another day.
Different part of my life now.
I know. I mean, I worked on cell phones, or one way or another, worked with cell phones for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And right now, well, I point at this because behind that is cell phone stuff. Because my daughter. Yes.
You have a daughter? What's her name?
Carla.
If you're watching, Carla, I'm sorry, your dad doesn't know your name.
So Clara's going to get a cell phone for her birthday.
Ooh.
And, she's going to be 10. So, I don't know. Some people might not give their kids cell phones that early. It's going to be monitored. It's an iPhone. We're going to be able to track it, put Life 360 on it, all that stuff. But it's largely because she's at these dance competitions.
Yeah.
Like every 3 weeks, it seems like.
Yep.
And she runs off with her friends constantly, and they're running all around convention centers and hotels, and we can chase her, but we can also only chase her so much.
Yeah.
Because, they're all together, all the girls are doing stuff, we want her to have fun, and we just need to, keep an eye on her somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to get, an iPhone, and we'll be able to track it down to the, square foot and make sure, A, she doesn't lose it, and B, we can find her and get a hold of her, or she can get a hold of us if something happens. So
she will definitely lose it. I mean, that's going to happen.
It's going to get broken. It's going to get lost.
Yeah, if it helps your guys' purpose, then I don't know why you wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
If it's any other 10-year-old that's already at the house and never around doing their own things, like, okay, I'm going to need an iPhone, but that kid's busy. So give Carla the phone.
Yeah, Carla's going to get a phone.
Good.
But, just trying to go back and buy cell phones right now and, think about buying cell phones is like a giant pain in the butt.
Oh, my God. This is new. I just got this one.
Phone?
It's a Pixel 9.
Okay.
That's the most money I wanted to cough up, but...
Is that, the latest Pixel? I have no idea. Yeah, we're on iPhone 12s, and they're on, the 16 now or something.
I think it's close. It's either 9 or 10.
Okay.
But I think the 9's the newest one.
Okay.
But I got the base model 9. There's 15 other Pixels,
yeah.
And looking at the prices, it's well, if you put $1,000 down, you'll only owe. I'm literally thinking it was if you put $800 or $900 down, plus the tax, then you'll only owe $1,400 for the Pixel 9 Flip Jumpy. Whatever iteration, there's a
Flip Jumpy.
There's one that's a.
Do they have a folding one?
Then yeah, they got a folding one. They got the one that's the size of your keyboard. They've got 4 or 5 different ones, and I'm just egregiously we're gonna be in 10 years. Come on, where are we gonna be at?
Yeah. Do you remember the day though when we needed to have that phone? We needed to have that newest phone.
I don't care now.
Yeah, every 6 months it was new phone, new phone, new phone, new phone. Gotta have the
status.
New phone.
Yeah.
Now it's if it doesn't stop calling people, I'm cool.
If I can take my selfies and look good.
Yes.
This is a nicer camera, I will say. My selfies looking pretty good on Snapchat.
It makes a big difference. Let's say cameras for taking pictures of your kid.
I guess. But yeah, if you got a good camera and it's not gonna make me snap it in two for having a slow processor speed that jams up, which this one's been great. The last one was good. I just kind of broke it a little bit. But this one's been good, and that's all I need now. I don't need to have a 9 flip jumper. I don't need to have a $3,000
Pixel keyboard flip.
One of our guys at work has the one that, and that's how he uses it all day.
Yeah. Because he can. Because he can.
I just want to do one of these until it snaps on him. But yeah, I used to think, well, really cool. We're gonna have flexible AMOLED. Now I'm annoyed by seeing anybody use that technology. You don't need to, because I can use this fine. You don't need that. But yeah.
No, I could never go down in screen size. I think this is 6.7 inch screen or something like that. Any smaller than that, I'm gonna have a hard time. It's about the same. You might be tiny, skinnier.
Yeah, I think I'm a little smaller, but it's manageable. It's not like the little. Was it 5.1? You remember the Palm Pixel? Was it Palm Pre?
Palm Pre sounds right.
Pre was the one I think that went like a little makeup.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was that.
Slide out keyboard.
The keyboard was
I do kind of miss the physical keyboard sometimes though. I miss being able to feel out the buttons and text in my pocket.
Only on a BlackBerry, because it was really cool with BlackBerry and BBM. That's the only part I miss.
Oh, man. I actually found, it's laying around here somewhere, my BlackBerry, my old Altel BlackBerry.
Mm.
And that was the BlackBerry that I had when I started dating Amber. So it still has all of our old BlackBerry messages from messages from back in the day.
Okay.
So it's kind of fun to go back and read those and listen to how much game I had as a 19-year-old.
Humana.
You pretty.
I do miss how exciting it was when you got a BBM message and you had that little green blinking. Your phone would be sitting over your head, one little green blinker, and you're like, I got a BBM, and
now we're inundated with
15
this stuff.
snaps, and I don't care.
Yeah, I get a hard time. Coop gives me a hard time because I have 15 unread text messages currently. I have 11,990 Gmail. 4,000.
I don't ever Gmail you for that reason.
34 missed calls. There's just too many. I just can't.
How many Hinge notifications did you have?
Oh, my bad. Remind me which one that is.
Hinge?
Is that the gay one?
No, that's Grindr.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. No,
just myself.
It's Grindr.
Oh, okay.
Don't.
Is Hinge the...
There's too much hair for me. That's really what Hinge is just a dating app.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you don't have to take it to the...
Just making sure. I didn't know which joke I was going with. So
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say it's been a while since I've used a dating app.
My thing was, I wanted Amber to see it. I think that you were on Hinge secretly, and we took it a darker, gayer way. But it's okay.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.